Welcome to the Pathways to Prosperity podcast, where we explore personal, professional, and financial success stories of top achievers. Let's dive in.
Hey guys, welcome to Pathways to Prosperity, where we spotlight trailblazers who are reshaping industries and communities. Join us today as we meet Thomas Decavia, a seasoned insurance strategist from Tampa with a dynamic past on Madison Ave. Thomas is at the helm of SIMRP, a novel program designed to save businesses millions while offering no-cost wellness benefits to employees. Dive into our conversation as Thomas unravels the revolutionary program, demonstrating the profound impact of innovating thinking in traditional sectors. Well, Thomas, how have you been?
Great. Thank you for that introduction. I appreciate it. I'm ready to go.
Well, of course. I mean, we got to make sure that everyone knows what you're doing. You know, we love to have people who are excellent entrepreneurs, but also people who love to think outside the box while also, innovating and setting the example for the industries in their areas. Speaking of industries, can you possibly give us a small snapshot of what you do? Actually,
Sure. What this program is. Okay. Quick background. The tax codes were put in during the Affordable Care Act a little over 10 years ago. And the whole purpose of the Affordable Care Act was to get Americans more healthier than what they were at that current time. There was obesity, there was diabetes, heart attacks, you name it, going on in this country. And the whole idea of the Affordable Care Act was to give better benefits to employees, get them healthier so they could live longer, be more prosperous to the company that they're working for. So they put these tax codes in that very few people know about. And we were able to dissect it and put it together with a program. So it's a win-win for everybody. There's no cost to this at all. So talk about thinking outside the box. This is where it is.
There you go.
And so what happens is you get a $550 offset for every W-2 employee you have that works over 30 hours a week. So that's where I've saved people millions or thousands for a year. But this is an immediate return back to your bottom line. So every month, your bottom line goes back up with this savings. That's on the employer side. Now, on the other side of the coin, the employees, well, they get a free wellness package. And I can say free because it's no copay, no deductible. So they get free telemedicine, they get free counseling, whether it's a marriage, drug, alcohol, stress, you name it. There's this app on your phone now. It's a facial recognition that will tell you your blood pressure, your heart rate, your heart risk of a heart attack or a stroke. It's amazing. And then there's we are exclusively with the Mayo Clinic who puts their diet program on our platform, for healthy exercises and things like that, and reduce your stress. So that's on the wellness side. And then with the offset of the employees' taxes, they get an average of about $150 a month to buy supplemental benefits, which could be short-term disability, life insurance, cancer policy, accident policy, a hospital policy, just to name a few. So it's not to replace what they currently have, but to add on to what they currently have without their paycheck changing 1 cent. What they're taking home today, they're going to take home once this program is in effect.
Wow. I mean, people who live with comorbidities, does this help them out also? Or is it just mainly people who just need an extra bump on their health insurance?
No. This is this obviously the supplemental benefits is kind of like having a gap insurance, but this helps the employer attract good talent because the benefits are better. And it helps the employer retain his employees because they're not going to jump ship, because if they want to take those benefits with them, then they got to start paying out of pocket.
Right.
So, and again, it's a win-win for everybody that's involved. And it's not to replace what they currently have, but just to add more protection for themselves and their family. So
how did you even get into this industry, and what made you really, how'd you come into this calling then?
Oh, actually, you always have that personality that you want to help people out. You want to market a product that's good. You want to stand behind it. You want to have faith in it that it works. And you want to see the end results. And the end results that I've seen over the years is amazing. Like when you sell a client a $30,000 cancer policy, and then they
Mhm.
tell you, I had cancer this past year, and you say, well, thank God you had that $30,000 policy. And they go, I did. And they had no clue. And then I said,
Yeah.
you're sitting on 30,000 right now. Get that claim in. I've had guys lay down motorcycles, and
Oh.
when you own a motorcycle, as you know, it's not if, it's when. So
Mhm.
they lay it down, they end up in the hospital. Oh, good. Well, you have the accident policy, you have the hospital policy. Did you claim? No. Like, well, you got about 15,000 coming to you. So that makes my end of it, heartwarming, and the result immediately. And that's something that I wanted to get into for immediate satisfaction.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing to have the extra cash and to really not only shape lives, because I mean, especially nowadays, it's really hard for people to really catch a grasp or even feel like they're able to breathe above the bills. I mean, people are getting debt more and more. They're at record-breaking times. I feel like people are now on edge. I feel like they just need that one push. I mean, even people with $100,000 are living paycheck to paycheck nowadays.
Oh, it's amazing what you see, but I mean, trust me, if what people don't realize, and everybody thinks they're bulletproof.
Yeah.
One in two males get,
Yeah.
1 in 3 females get cancer. And if you have cancer and you don't have any protection, just your medical, you're going to be bankrupt. The way it goes.
hmm
Yeah.
I definitely know people who had businesses who were successful, and after they didn't realize, like you said, they thought they were bulletproof, and they've lost businesses before it. I mean, cancer
Sure.
is. I mean, the treatments itself are expensive. I mean, not
Oh yeah.
even thinking about things around you, helping others. I mean, once you're also like a breadwinner of the family, and then now nothing comes in, it's a big toll. I mean,
It's it's,
I, yeah.
it's a sad toll to see, and it's
Mhm.
unfortunately there's more out there than we even know, and it's devastating to a lot of families.
Yeah, I mean, to have that blessing, even with motorcycles. I grew up actually with motorcycles, a Harley Davidson back at home.
Okay.
And my pa, like you said, it's not only if, it's when. It really is when. That's why a lot of people get mad when motorcyclists have loud exhaust. It isn't for a show. I mean, some of them are, but it's really just to be aware, have other people aware of you.
Yeah,
To
because they
everything.
don't respect them to begin with, and
Yeah.
oh, there's turn signals on his car. I forgot all about them.
Yeah, exactly. So in this industry, do you see a lot of competition in the sector that you do? I mean, this is a very unique plan to help, like you said, help retain employees and help employers to really get that bottom line and get that the reimbursement. Do you see a lot of people in this industry right now, or do you feel like you're ahead of the
No,
game?
no, it's hey, knock wood. Thank God for me. I mean, selfishly, it's still at its infant stages. It's been around for a
Mhm.
long time, but apparently it takes a lot of money to write the software, to apply to the paychecks and to figure out the codes. And we have the CPAs in the back room who work all this out. And there are people out there that do it, and there's competition
Mhm.
like any place else. But right now it's the best kept secret. But to me, it's like selling pardons in a prison. It's like no
Yeah.
cost to anybody. This is easy,
Yeah.
a no brainer. But sometimes, and my biggest problem in the sale is it's too
Mhm.
good to be true. What do you
Yeah,
mean it
I
doesn't
mean,
cost me anything? And all that. It's like, hey, you know what? And I say, you don't know me, and I hear what you're saying, but I will tell
mhm.
you right now, the Mayo Clinic would never have gone on our platform if their legal department didn't give it the okay after examining it for months.
I mean, it's true. I mean, it's true. So Mayo Clinic isn't only known for its robust finances, but also they have one of the best benefits for everyone, for their
Sure.
employees. I know they still have pensions. A lot of businesses don't do that. They're very diligent about even like their health. So I mean, to have such a profound clinic and a profound health system to really be backing you up, and like I said, that's your main person. That's like your main holder, to have them really see the value of this, it says a lot. I mean, I could definitely tell that you put not only the thought but also the hours. You put the system together. It's a hard system to really put together. Like you said, you're essentially the carrier and the head runner of this whole industry. So how does that make you feel knowing that you're able to not only bring out and you see that the hard work helps you, but also helps others? How does that help? How does that make you feel?
Well, it's definitely a great feeling. And anytime you get something off the ground and you get it up and running, that is a good feeling because trust me, at the beginning, there's a lot of sleepless nights. I am not going to lie to you. You sit there and go, man, am I doing the right thing? Is this going to work? And it's human nature. You start questioning yourself. You kind of lose your edge a little. And then all you need is one person to say, hey, you know what? I like that. And it gets you right back up and getting going again. And knowing that you could help somebody, in that time of need, that's what makes it all worthwhile. Yeah.
So, like you said, speaking of like hardships, like what was the biggest challenge that you think you faced while opening and running this program?
Well, the biggest challenge would be obviously getting the owner on board because he's going to save a lot of money. And because most of the time, when you go see the owner to sell benefits, it's like, hey, let me see your employees. Let's see what they want to buy. And he's like, hey, you know what? They're here to work. They're not here to talk to you. And that's always a hard number to get through the door. Yeah. So when I can say to him, hey, what are you giving your employees for mental wellness right now? With everything with it's hot on the news, it's hot in social media, the mental illness of what's going on. What are you doing for them? And nothing. Well, you know what? Here's a free program that lets them talk to a counselor 8 times for free. If they have problems, or, hey, how about if I save you a lot of money that would probably almost pay for your rent for the month? And by doing that, you're giving employees no cost benefits. It's again, I'm telling you, it sounds like a no brainer, but there are hurdles to get over. But once you get over those hurdles and they grasp the meaning of it, and of course, they all want their accountants to check it out. We have the tax codes. That's not a problem. And then once they get on board, I mean, they're like, oh my God, thank you very much. And they're very appreciative because they've never seen anything like this. And the other bigger challenge we were talking about before is the CPAs that work for that company or his company, and they don't know this tax code. So
right.
There's a fine line there. You can't make them look bad with their egos because they'll shoot it down. So, so you want to learn to work with everybody. That's the secret.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're like, oh, I've been a CPA for X amount of time. I know the tax codes in and out. And then you show them that something that they missed over and they didn't see. Right. That itself is, like I said, it's something you don't want to break their ego, but you just want to kind of just guide them. And it sounds like you're doing that. You're doing that. So you're able to guide.
You just try to educate them and say, hey, look, this is out there. I don't expect you to know every tax code. Everybody says that, but you're not that. Nobody's that good. That's so
they say they are. Yeah.
Yeah. And we have the forms, we have the papers that they can look at it right away, look it right up, and it's there, and then they can take advantage of it from there. And once they give the owner the go ahead, then we start rolling the ball.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, you're doing people a favor while also making this business well known. I mean, it's something that you're doing. It's like there's always that thing. It's like there's a double-edged sword, but there really isn't anything double-edged about it. You're really just going one way, and you're not only helping others, but you're helping yourself too, and opening other businesses about the eyes that they can help their employees, especially with mental wellness. It's a heavy thing.
It is right now. It's a heavy thing, and then of course the other question we always go: how do you get paid?
So, yeah, right. I was gonna. Yeah.
It doesn't say charity after your name, so let's see how do you get paid?
Nothing.
So it's from these tax savings, the employer will get an offset of an average of, and I say average until we can get their payroll census and run their reports, but it averages out to about 550 to 600 an employee savings, and then the employee gets about 150 a month from his tax savings when they reduce the payroll taxes. And then within that money, that pot of money, there's enough money for an administration fee, and that's how we get paid for that. But we're minimal compared to what they have. So I mean, our business is run on volume, not individuals.
by individual plans or anything like that. So, on average, what kind of businesses do you look for when you're going after it, like offering
I
this?
look for
this plan?
anybody who's after. We can deal with anybody. It could be, private, public, nonprofit. Yeah, anybody who
Mhm.
has a W-2 employee with 30 hours plus a week, and anywhere in the United States. All 50
Okay.
states is qualifies because they're all paying the taxes into Washington. So we look for like companies 25 and above headcount. When you
Okay.
get into the thousands, that's when there's mega savings,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
they can give their employees a lot by doing that, but they're going to save a lot. But anywhere from 50 above is great. It's perfect. We welcome all that, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter what business they're in.
Hmm.
I mean, we can take them. So which is
Well,
great.
well, I mean, it sounds like you've been doing well in the industry. I mean, like you said, you're pretty much the forerunner. And with those savings, I mean, a lot of people could now go into asking, what is another way to really, how can they look to even use the extra money for passive income? Like, have you thought about other ways to really help those people not only strive for the healthcare, but also help get the extra income for their families? Like, do you know, or have you ever thought about any other ways to create that income?
Not that they can increase it to their bottom line because it has to
Hmm.
be under benefits with this tax code, but they can cover their whole entire family. I mean, you can take life insurance policies out on you and your spouse, your children. You can get accident policies. So if your kids are playing sports and they get injured, you're going to get paid. Your medical is going to pay the doctor in the hospital. This pays you to offset your costs. So there's ways around it like that will help them out.
Okay.
And which makes a lot of sense. And obviously, we talked about the cancer policy or a heart attack and things like that, the more
Right.
major bump in the road. But like kids that play sports, break an ankle playing soccer, football, baseball, go to the hospital, X-rays, physical therapy. What are they going to get paid for all that in the accident policy? So
Right.
that helps them out there, and and the kids can continue to play their sports and enjoy it. And God forbid they do get injured, there's going to be money more than just your medical insurance.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people, especially when they have kids, it's a lot more expensive. I mean, you can't
Oh,
just now. I mean, nowadays buying milk is about $6. That itself is
right.
a it's that itself and
Well,
is
yeah.
it's a heavy expense. So,
Well, I tell everybody who has kids, get the accident plan. It's going to pay for itself.
mhm.
Eventually you're going to make a claim, and it's going to pay for this policy 10 times over. Because I've seen it. If you go into the hospital for one night in the accident policy, someone to pay $1,500 for the first night in the hospital.
Wow.
So on an injury. So it's not expensive, but it definitely plays out well. And that's what it's for.
Well, it's like you said, it's not the matter of if, but when. I mean, everyone's gonna get
Right.
hurt. Everyone's going to the hospital sooner or later. It's just pretty much the nature of the beast. Everyone gets older.
Well,
It's just how it
if
is.
you got if you got kids, they're on a bike, they're going over.
Mhm.
Anybody.
Yeah.
So, we see it all
So,
the time.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you see it all the time. I mean, especially even something small, like falling on the ground and hitting their head on on the ground, God
Absolutely.
forbid. But
Oh yeah.
have you ever thought about any ways to really enhance like passive income also in the industry? Like with you, I mean, like you said, your business is really successful, and like, have you ever thought about putting any of that money that you're helping, these companies make millions? And have you ever thought about broadening out into other adventures at all?
I try and get into the community as
Mm,
best as I can, with the charity stuff, especially this time of the year,
right.
with the kids who can't afford gifts and things like that. Um, I've been thinking of some other things, like you're saying, to broaden myself out and take advantage of and see if we can get that going. And um, I just got to rev up again to get that going, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much. Yeah.
Well, well, I mean, like you said, it was a lot of sleepless nights. Now you got to really kind of be able to really soak up the greatness that you're doing. You got to sometimes got to take that layman period, and then now, like I said, ramp back up to another adventure.
Right. It's fun. I mean, I enjoy it, and after you get by the first hurdle, you're pretty much home free,
Mhm.
so you can get it going. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time. And I know as we're wrapping up, I was gonna see. So in the next 6 to 12 months, I know you said you had something possibly coming in that's gonna be, you're really excited about. Like, are there any other big plans that's happening in those 6 months?
No, not too big. I mean, the good thing is that this self-insured medical reimbursement program that I'm working on here is
Oh,
still in the infant stages, so that's keeping me real busy.
pretty busy.
It's not like it's been played out yet. So I'm thinking of, you always think of the next venture too. I mean, you can't sit still, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm weighing about 4 or 5 different ones, and I'm
Mhm,
waiting for some numbers and reports to come back to me to evaluate. Let my accountant look it over and say, what do you think? Can
mhm,
we make a go of this? Um, and as it goes, and we'll take it slow, but at least this program keeps me very busy because you know it's a word of mouth too. So once somebody has it and they tell their friend about it, they want it. Then they want it.
mhm.
So it's a great referral business. And of course, the greatest thing is it doesn't cost anything to put into effect. So you're not convincing anybody to free up the pocketbook to spend on something.
Yeah, they're like, well, behind like, in the hidden line, there's like, oh, this is also an administration fee of 500 or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, our administration fee is very, very low. They
Mhm.
don't even feel it, and they're getting their money. And the saying on Wall Street: "You can be a bull or a bear, don't be a pig."
Yeah, exactly. So also, I just want to say thank you, Thomas, for having your time and really just, sharing us, not only being able to help others, but really like having it to where it's like literally, like I said, a low cost of your administration fee. Is there any way for people to really reach out to you, either on Facebook or any social media platforms at all?
LinkedIn, LinkedIn, just Thomas Decavia on LinkedIn. They can get to
Okay.
me. Not on Facebook. My account was hacked, so I'm gone. But LinkedIn is the best way. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, all right, man. Well, it sounds like a plan. Thank you very much, Thomas, for your
I
time.
appreciate it.
I love I love the fact that you're really doing this and you're helping the world and are able to, like I said, everyone does a business for a reason, but your business has this, like I said, this positives, and it's really good to hear wins where you're able to help others.
Thank you very much. I thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Of course. Well, hope you have a great day and hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Pathways to Prosperity podcast. Got a success story to share? Visit pathwaystoprosperitypodcast.com/guest and apply today.